So I have mixed feelings about this week's episode of Tsukimichi. Probably less mixed feelings than based on at least my comment section. I've seen a lot of pushback about this season. It's not a consistent thing, but usually every other week I get some people complaining that it's not season 1, or maybe they feel like it's rushed, or this or that. And in general, I'm pretty good with the episodes. I'm having a blast. There's some things I enjoy even more than season 1. One thing that I really enjoy about this season is, at least based on my own memory, Makoto is way funnier with some of his facial reactions than ever in season 1. There's a lot I enjoy, but episodes like these, it's a little weird because you just kind of see things happening, which I'd be more understanding if this was a one cour, like a 12 or 13 episode season. This is like 24 episodes back to back. They have the time, they have the energy, but it's like, the bright stuff? It just kind of happens, right? I don't think I'm going to be crazy. I haven't looked up opinions on this episode, so I have no idea if this is a common complaint or not. But as much as I enjoyed that whole situation, like in the moment, I didn't really think much of it. But after the episode's done, I'm kind of like, it's like we skipped setup. Like, it's almost like, hey, this person's doing something wrong, and then they're dead. There's no capturing, there's no, like, a little more build-up. I guess I just thought it was going to be bigger than it was. And while I really like that interrogation scene, because honestly, had he not opened his mouth up to the experimentation, Makoto kind of found his people. Like, he was saying a lot of shit that he could agree with until he, well, stepped over the edge, and very similar to that soul leveling episode, crossed a line that couldn't be crossed. But it's interesting, right? But we definitely have a lot to talk about. But before we jump into that, we got that full live reaction over on my Patreon if you want to see my full thoughts to today's episode or any of these episodes of Tsukimichi. It's over there if you're interested. So, like, in general, the actual execution, the removal of a threat, I enjoy. But it's like, it's kind of like we skipped episodes. It's almost like you're kind of like every other episode, you know, you're missing something. You're missing some build-up, which is more noticeable in a one cour season, not usually a 2. But that's really my biggest issue with the episode, is like, I feel like we're missing chunks of the story off and on. And I guess that probably is chalked up to rushing, at least based on what I'm seeing in my comments. But in case anyone's like, damn, Brandon, you're such a hater, what happened? It's like, I very rarely will have things that actually bother me, because life's too short to care about the little bullshits. I still like this show, which is why I'm not going to just stop watching it, because a couple little things bother me. But I do hope that when we get into the second cour, whatever rushing's here, whatever weird directing is here at times, is worth it, so we can look at where we get to in the second cour, which is kind of feels like maybe what's happening, but that's just my gut reaction. But with maybe a little bit of the salt out of the way, because it's not like I'm furious about the episode, but it is something I think worth bringing up. I did have fun this episode. It was I wasn't sure if it was going to be a setup episode or a slower pace episode, and a part of me wants to kind of describe it as such, but there was actually a lot of exciting things and some funny moments. I mean, it's... Please tell me I'm not the only one who thinks Shiki and this demon are like the perfect couple. Like, they are so, like, even if they don't actually get together, they gotta be having that hate sex. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, they are so similar. Hell, even our boy is saying he's pretty much saying they're two peas in a pod. And it's just hilarious to see how much they hate each other, but like how feisty they are, but kind of their chemistry links. I don't know, I enjoy little things like that. I still question the banana shenanigans. Like, literally, they're only there to make banana jokes. And even if they're not making banana jokes or having banana jokes thrown on them, bananas are said. Like, I don't think there's ever been a conversation where bananas were not name dropped at least once. I kind of felt dirty at the end of the episode with them. So they wander in to this big dragon boss fight. Apparently you need to be like level 90 to do it. They're like 70s, 74s, you know, but there's 7 of them. I'm thinking to myself, well, I mean, if games like Xenoblade have shown me anything, even if you're 10 or 20 levels under leveled, if you know what you're doing, you can make it. It'll be a longer fight. Well, maybe I guess they would have died if they would have attempted it. So she comes in and, I feel like it was like a flick. It was just a shoo. I just felt like we bullied this, like, there's a reason why you don't use an assault rifle when hunting deer, right? Like, you have to give them a shot, a chance to live. There was none of that there. Like, it felt like we were bullying. And the fact that she's slapping titties, saying you're too skinny, you can still change your life. She just is insulting left after right, and I'm like, monkey girl, chill. But I will say though, the lizard men, I think that's, what are their species? Blue lizards or something like that? Either way, the two that had been training the class, I actually liked what they did there. It's weird that they thought the one wasn't a girl, because I thought they made it kind of obvious, but I guess maybe if you're already a part of this world, you don't just, you like, if you've never seen these types of species, like, it's just, you have no idea. We almost killed them. That one who got brought in as the extra, who is apparently stronger, maybe less skilled in terms of tactics, but physically stronger. This woman at one point throws a steel mace, or of some sort of metal like that, into a student's chest and impales him against a wall of, I think it was rock. Like, you almost killed yourself, and all these people here because you kind of did a slight insult because you didn't respect her enough. And I'm like, it's a good thing that they're seeing improvements, because if this was just them getting bodied and showing no improvements, or no, like, he's freaking crazy, either Makoto would no longer have a job or he'd have no students. Like, it's simple as that. But the fact that the first one that they've been fighting with was only using 1/10 of its power, it's like strength training, right? You know, you pick up the 10 pounds, and then the 15, and then the 20, and then you keep working your way up to build your strength tolerance, right? That's basically what it is. But imagine getting bodied as hard as they have been for weeks, and then this happens, and you're like, that was a 10th. Like, we were happy that we weren't completely on the ground exhausted after winning, and now not only are you cranking it up a notch, you're bringing in the reinforcements. Like, no matter how fast-paced or jumbled aspects of this season of Tsukimichi has felt, I still just find it so entertaining. And whether it's the end of last week with the idea of what could happen with our boy being a traversal of worlds, I mean, some people even pointed out he's kind of already doing that with his kind of demi-plane existence. So, like, the path of where his story's going is there. You got the hero stuff, you got the school stuff. It's just kind of a shame that it kind of feels like it was out of order. I mean, it is what it is, you know? It was still an enjoyable episode, but it kind of left a little bit of an aftertaste. You know, it's not enough to be like, I'm never touching this again. But I think, you know, anime fans, and I used to have this issue too when I, you know, years back, where it's like, oh, you know, you can't say anything mean because, you know, then it's like you're a hater. But it's like, no, like, there's a difference between pointing out some issues you have and just, I dislike everything about this show, see you next week. Like, I'm not gonna do that. So for those comments that I always get saying I'm too nice, there you go. And I await the I'm too mean comments as well. But most of you are pretty great. I know you understand where I'm coming from. And we'll see where it goes. I would have liked to see more build up before that kidnapping, but that's just me. Now, those are my feelings. I'd love to know what everyone thought, because definitely if you have a different opinion, or if you see something I don't see about that whole kidnapping angle, let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell so you get notified when I upload more. And like I mentioned, we had that full live reaction over on my Patreon. Hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Game Senpai, Kevin Hoffman, Madara Fire, Lysandia, Golden Dragon, and Brett Jones. I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.